All right. Today is Saturday. It's Saturday evening, pushing 6 o'clock p.m. We've got this cabinet for the 4563 Silvertone in a pretty rough but a re-glued and situation. We got the little piece that was missing filled in there, a little bit of filler right there, some filler all the way around this edge because we had a seam showing there and we got rid of it with some filler. Some of that I don't know, some rub and stick or chalk or whatever the heck it was. I don't remember offhand right now what it is. It's like a big lumber crayon, but you rub it on there and it fills in the wood real nice. We got this edge all glued back down and everything, and we got this all put back in like it should be and filled in. What we're going to do tomorrow morning sometime is we're going to start sanding on this and bringing it back to life. And then we're going to move to the inside and get it shot and sprayed so we can start, we'll wipe it down with some acetone and lacquer thinner or something and get it all rubbed out so we can get it back to raw wood. It's looking really shabby, so we're going to do that tomorrow. Hang on, we'll go inside to the shed and show you what we got going in there. Okay, in here we got the chassis. We got it all rubbed out. We gave it another buffing with the wire brush and got it all looking at one continuous tone, and then we mashed it off and shot it with a real fine, well, first we hit that thing and got it in the typical finish, and then what we did was mask this off and everything else that you see here that's still masked off, and gave it a light misting of titanium silver metallic. It's kind of hard to tell. You can see a little bit of the existing, well, the original, where the glue, I think what they had on the sides of this here, they did another one on that. I think it was an old Silvertone that I did. They put the parts list on one end of the chassis, and on the other end they put a miniature graphic of the schematic. And I think that's what this is from, because that papers that I told you I saw in the basket of the speaker, well, I think that was some of the stuff that was in here that came off and got stuck in the speaker. So we've got this shot with a light misting of titanium silver metallic, and we got a good coat of clear poly on it, everything. So we're going to be doing this tomorrow. We're going to put it up on the bench and get the caps changed in it. The tubes have been engraved, and the speaker basket has been scraped and cleaned, I think. I don't remember if I did. No, I still got to do that. And then, boy, we're going to be close to this. This is not going to take very many videos to get it wound up. So hang in there. We'll have more on this tomorrow. Okay, today is Sunday, the 1st of Oct. We're back out on the big bench underneath the Casbah and sanding down this cabinet for this 4563. We've got a little bit of whoopsie-doozle right there to take care of. We have sanded most all the top down to raw wood, and we're about 60 or 70% done on the face. We still got to get this end and the radius. There was a little owie in here where the veneer is starting to raise in the grain on this bend here, so I have to patch it up. And that's the reason why the stuff is there. I am sanding all the other area around here, and it's coming off pretty well. I had to hit the top and the end with some heavy grit, 50 grit I think it was. I hit it with 120 with the DA, and then whatever it was struggling with, I hit it with the 50 by hand with a sponge, and it took the rest and cut it right down, and then I took the rest of it with a hand and a 120, and I'm doing this with a 120, no 50 on this, and I'll do it with this over here. It seems to be coming off pretty good. The top, well, it was cruddy and pretty thick. I mean, you can see how it's caking up right here, but the 120 is cutting it real good. I had to use the 50 on the top because of the extra crap that it was built up on it and worked its way into the varnish or whatever they used on this thing as a finish, and it was embedded in there really good, so I had to take it down with a coarse grain. Now, the one thing I wanted to touch on with this as I was going through, I got partial way through, I'm going to show you how I deal with this opposite grain here. And it's not as tough as one would think. I've seen some people on YouTube that do the cabinet finishes, and they're always sanding with the grain. Well, that's what you're taught to do, is sand with the grain, because if you go the opposite way, you're gonna mar it, and it's gonna take probably a great deal of elbow grease and coarse grain to put it back in the direction that it naturally goes in. But I have a method for dealing with that, and I'll show it to you as soon as I can get this thing on a pod and get set up to demonstrate the rest of this area right in here. Hang on. Okay, hopefully you can see and hear me all right. I'm going to come around this end of the table again, and I've got a 120 grit DA pad on here, and we're going to do it in little circular motions here. Yeah, do it until you start clogging up, and I'm going to spray it off and start again. This stuff is going to clog up your paper, really good, so you want to go for a while until you feel it starting to cake up again like that. I use a little scrubby brush and hit it with a little air pressure to clear it out, and go back and do it again and again and again and again. And come back and do your paper again. Be careful with the air on some of this, with the edges especially. When they start to come loose and delaminate, you hit it with that air pressure, it's going to rip it right off. Now you can finesse the little areas by leaning your block a little bit into that area. And another cleaning. There. Now you can see, and there's no marring of the, and that's with 120 grit. I wouldn't suggest it with anything heavier. You might be able to get by with 100 grit, but I would try it on a little area first before, because some of this crud, I mean, it could be a booger. So, but you can see, yeah. And then what you're going to do is, I go over it with the DA sander and hit it with a 220, and then back it up with a 320, and then back it up with a 400, until you get most of the deepness minimized. And then you can go ahead and hit it with a pre-stain, and then hit it with your stain. So I just wanted to show you that real fast, and show you how I deal with this crisscrossy grain whenever they do this kind of stuff. I used to follow the grain, and on some of those Philcos where they had the grain going this way and then they had the grain going that way, well, you try to get, to the edge of one grain pattern and then try not to get into the other grain pattern. Well, just as easy to do small little circles like that until you get it down. So that's all I wanted to cover. So let me get my thingy here, and so that takes care of that. So see you on the next segment.